Welcome to the Sun River Anglers Fly Tying Corner, where each month we bring you a new fly pattern to give a try to on our Central Oregon lakes and rivers. In addition to showing you how to tie each pattern, I'll feature fishing technique tips and tricks, and I'll cover some of the entomology behind each pattern to help gain a better understanding of the bugs that we're trying to imitate. I have field tested each of the patterns that I feature each month to make sure that they catch fish. I'll cover tying instructions for the fly as well as materials to help you be able to recreate these patterns on your own vise. For this month's pattern, I'm going to tie a Carey Special. This is a fly that originated in British Columbia, and it has been used to imitate dragonfly nymphs and other water boatmen, etc. It's a really effective stillwater pattern, and I've been using it on Crane Prairie with very good success recently. So let's review the materials for this pattern. I'll cover them one by one. For a hook, I'm going to use a Daiichi 1710 size 10, although you can go size 8 to maybe size 12, or even 14 if you want. For the thread, I'm going to use a Danville's 6/0 flat wax thread, and I'm using this in olive brown. For the weight on this fly, I'm going to use 0.015 lead wire, and I'll vary the number of wraps depending on the depth I'm anticipating fishing. For this one, I used about 10 to 12 wraps fishing 4 to 6 feet of water. For the rib, I'm going to use an ultra wire in copper brown in size BR. Now, the original Carey uses a number of different materials for the body. In this case, I'm using peacock, which breaks easily, so I really need to rib it. For the body of this fly, or the abdomen, I'm going to use 3 or 4 barbs of a peacock tail feather, and I'm going to try and reach for the barbs with the longest barbules up near the eye. And as you'll see in the video, I'm choosing barbs from the left side of the eye with the shiny side facing me. More on the whys behind that a little bit later. For the hackle, I'm going to again go back to my whiting freshwater streamer hen cape in mottle gray, and I'm going to wind this like a soft hackle. I can also use a feather off the back of a ringneck pheasant and wrap that soft hackle style. So let's get started tying this pattern. I'm going to first wind on my lead wire, and I'll wrap 10 to 12 wraps. Again, I'm going to be fishing this in about 4 to 6 feet of water, and so I'll position that in the front forward part of the hook, leaving enough room for the head, and I'll tie my thread in front of and behind the lead wire to anchor it in place. Next, I'm going to tie on my tail. So I'll either use my whiting freshwater streamer or the pheasant back feather. In this case, I'm showing the pheasant back feather. And I'll strip off probably 10 or 12 barbs and tie those in right behind the lead wire and cut off the excess and tie one wrap underneath the tail. So then I'm going to take my copper wire and attach it also right behind the lead to be available for ribbing. So now I've cut off 3 barbs off my peacock, and as I said, I picked those off the left side of the feather with the shiny side facing me. As a right-handed tire, when I wrap these shiny side back, dull side forward, it's going to take advantage of the very longest barbules on the peacock. If I was to choose right side of the feather, the barbs would be slightly shorter and they wouldn't show near as well as the way I'm tying it. When you finish, you should have a very nice looking pipe cleaner like body on this fly. That helps imitate the nice dragonfly silhouette of the natural insect that we're trying to imitate. Next, I'm going to counterwrap the ribbing wire through the peacock to give it that strength and stability. So now I've taken one of the ringneck pheasant back feathers, and I choose the feather with the motley colors and some olivey gray and so on and so forth to really create character on this fly. And I've stripped off all the fuzzies, and I'll expose the tip of this with my hackle pliers, pull that back, and clip off the tip, leaving that little V where I'm going to tie that onto the fly. That little V gives my thread something to grab onto when I tie this material onto the head. So let's attach hackle pliers, and then I'm going to fold this feather back upon itself as I wind it, and fold all those barbules toward the back of the fly as I wind this forward, wet fly style. So I'll finish with a couple of whip finishes on this head just to secure it. You can use glue, although if you whip finish twice, you generally don't need to. I like to fish this pattern off a hover line, and the lead wire allows it to sink while the hover line helps lift it on each strip. And I fish it with a real wonky, irregular, jerky strip that imitates a natural dragonfly. And lastly, let me rotate this in my vise so that you can see all sides of the pattern. So that has been your Sunriver Anglers Fly Tying Corner for this month. I hope you'll give the Carey Special a try. It's been a good one for me on Crane Prairie lately. If you like what you see, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and join us on Facebook. It's Sunriver Anglers. Thanks for watching.